You might think, based solely on some of my titles and thumbnails, that I hate riffs. But that's actually not true at all. Riffs are sick. I did say, and will continue to say, that riffs are not a song. And I do think that is true because riffs alone are not a song. But having primo riffs in a song is awesome and super important in metal. A good riff has a little bit of everything in it. Some melody, some harmonic accompaniment, cool rhythmic phrasing, and hopefully some feel-good chunk. When you do it right, it's a little self-contained microcosm of music, and today I'm gonna show you some of my favorite riffs of all time and what makes them sick. And I'm gonna be playing them today on my amazing new Kiesel A2 Aries guitar. You can find out more about this model at the link in the description below. This is, to me, the ultimate melodic riff. It combines a simple, catchy melody with moving bass notes to create a complete musical thought. And it's fast. One of the best album openers ever, for sure. If we break it down into like the two ideas that are happening, we've got this melody that goes like this. Super simple. And then the bass notes are filling in the harmony, so we've got like a D, a G, a B flat, and a C, and an A. Perfect. It's a perfect riff. Perfect. Most of the time, a riff is serving one of two main functions within a song. It's either accompaniment for some kind of top line, either instrumental or vocal, or it's sort of the focus of an instrumental interlude part of the song. This is probably my favorite Black Dahlia Murder song, and in a similar way to the Winter Sun riff, it's got this built-in chord motion. It would have been really easy for this riff to be super lame and just chug on the open E string the whole time. Instead, the low note that he's chugging on changes throughout the riff and gives it some harmonic motion and pulls us through the riff, makes it super exciting to listen to. So the melody part is... And then the bass notes filling it out are E, A, G, F sharp. Put them together, nice and slow. And then you gotta do it with all downstrokes because it's an amazing riff, but it sucks to play. When I've said in the past that riffs are not a song, usually what I'm referring to is that the riffs were not interesting enough to carry the song instrumentally, and there's no top line for it to accompany, so it makes for a very, very boring song. Sure, it might be a song technically by the barest definition of song, but it's not good. The riffs that I've chosen for this video today mostly kind of stand on their own in an instrumental context, but some of them are also accompanied by vocals. And I've picked them not just because they're my favorites, but also because they have a very strong melodic component to them. I'm also really curious to know what your favorite riffs are and why, so let me know in the comments. I I think this is the coolest, like, weird chromatic riff ever. And this is also a super cool way to groove in 5/4. Even though this riff seems like complete chromatic insanity, it's actually outlining some chords with some chromatic passing tones. The first one being like a G major 7 sharp 11. If we look at it like that, there's actually only one chromatic note in there, which is this G sharp. All the other notes are the notes of G major 7 sharp 11. And then the second half of the riff, we're just doing the exact same thing up a whole step, giving us, you guessed it, an A major 7 sharp 11. To me, this is an incredibly interesting way to outline some chords that you otherwise would have just kind of played, you know? Like, that's not interesting. I feel as though I would be a bit remiss if I didn't include at least one of my own riffs. Not because I'm a narcissist. I mean, I am, but not because of that. But because I wrote it, I can explain to you my thinking behind it. So of course, this is the main riff from the song The Gaudy Cross from my video, How Ghost Writes a Song. This is the Slayer but slower riff. Here it is, slower than Slayer but slower. This riff is actually a lot more complicated than it probably should be, but it seems to be a fan favorite. People tell me they really like it, so that's why I decided to include this one and give you a little bit of breakdown of what's going on here. So I called it Slayer but slower in the video because it's got sort of a similar evil chromatic thing going on to like a Slayer riff. We've got this little tritone thing. We've got a flat 2 and a major 7. And then like some of these other riffs that I was showing you, we're implying some chord motion by changing the bass note that we're pedaling off of. So like it's basically a 1-4-5 in a minor key. So we're going like from E to A to B, but with some sneaky chromatic twists. It's not so much that I like intended them to outline particular chords that I was thinking of beforehand, but I think it's just kind of the way that I write, and I'm always hearing the chords inside of the riff. If you've written a bunch of sick riffs, but never written a full song before, then you're definitely gonna wanna check out my completely free course, which is called the 7-Day Riff to Song Challenge, in which I show you how to turn one riff into one song in 1 week. You can find links to both of those in the description below. Huge thanks to Kiesel Guitars for this amazing Aries A2 guitar. You can spec out your very own at kieselguitars.com. And if you're not sure how many times you should be repeating your riffs in your songs, you should definitely watch this video right here for the answer. And I'll see you real soon.